Alrighty, I finally got it lined up, and I don't know if you can see this if you get the camera in close enough, but I've got my valve stem pretty much coming straight out of the hole here, and all of my wheel bolts are lined up for the wheel halves. So I'll go ahead and put the washers on first, and then the 6 wheel half nuts, which are self-locking. Just tighten them down finger tight. Get all 6 of them on. There you go. Now when you do this, you want to be careful. Put your wheel halves together, not to pinch the inner tube between the wheel halves, which is why you should inflate it first, is it form fits it to the form of the tire and pulls it out away from the wheel half initially until you get it fully inflated. Notice I'm holding the tire down. I've got it on the 2x4, and I had to push down hard enough to engage the back side of it, hold this down, and allow me to get lined up the wheel halves and get them together. Now we'll take the 1/2-inch socket here and tighten down a couple of them. Get them down snug fit, or at least until the bolt starts to turn on you, which will keep the wheel halves together, keep them from separating on you. After this, you can go ahead and let up pressure and get the other ones tightened down. Okay, now it gets to a certain point, and it starts turning that bolt in there. So now you can take your wheel half and get your Allen wrench, stick it in there, and start tightening down I guess I should put some kind of a disclaimer on all of these videos. We're just a bunch of amateurs having a lot of fun. There we go, that one's down. Of course, you know when you're tightening up bolts on any tire or wheel or torque assembly, you don't want to go around in a circle. You want to go in a star pattern. As you can see, I've got this one, then I come straight across, then I'll do this one and this one and this one and this one, down to where it just, you'll feel it when it gets hand tight. It'll stop turning and announce its seating. There we go. Now we'll go up to the top one here and do the same, get that tightened up. I have to edit this film, I guess. Figure out how to use that Microsoft video editor program, or just leave all the mistakes in there and say, look, you know what, we're just a bunch of good old boys having fun. Home chop. There we go. And we'll go straight down to the bottom one. I'm not going to bother with setting a torque on these until I get them all down snug tight. Then I'll go through and do a little bit of what we call German torque. I suppose a guy could take a torque wrench if this were a high-speed airplane or a certificated airplane that demanded a specific torque. But the bottom line is right around 25 to 30 inch-pounds, which you can do inch-pounds with your hand, especially if you've done enough work on aircraft or automobiles or so on. Okay, we'll do this one. Alrighty, now I've got them all down snug fit, so I'll start out where I'm at, and I'm going to go about that much. That's just about 25 inch-pounds right there. I know that from my calibrated torque arm. And then we'll go over here. And we'll go straight across. get these ones? This one. There we go. And then this one. Right here. And there you have it. Now, all things being in good shape, hopefully I have not inadvertently pinched the inner tube, although I know that I didn't because I checked it. The valve core, as you can see, is coming straight out of the hole here. So let's go ahead and we're going to put 35 pounds of pressure in here, and as it begins to inflate, you'll hear the tires as they pop in and seal up against the edges. There they go. 30. Okay, I got bit mark. Oh, I forgot to put the valve core in. Alrighty, that's fine. I told you this was an amateur production. Hey, if you can't have fun, then why do it, right? So this time I'll put the valve core in. Seat it down a little bit. And reinflate the tire. But now I know it's seated. Okay, I'm going to go with 30 pounds in each tire instead of 35. And there's 30, and I'm going to hold it there and make sure I'm not leaking. And I'm not, so again, as I said, I did not pinch the inner tube. I got 30 pounds of pressure. I'm good to go. Now, on the back side of this, you'll see 3 studs. That's what locks into your disc brake assembly. So you go ahead and mount the tire and wheel assembly on the axle and line it up with the brake plate, which is always a lot of fun. There we go. Then slide it all the way in. You have a 15/16 inch nut here. Go ahead and put that on there. And get my wrench and start tightening it down. Now this is a self-locking nylock nut on here, so you can only tighten it so far, and then you start feeling resistance. From that point on, you'll have to take it down like this. Okay, now I've just bottomed out. And what I'm going to do is, once it bottoms out, I'm going to go about 1/4 of a turn and set the torque on it. I'm still spinning free. The tire is now mounted. And we're ready to go flying. What do you think, Peter? You want to go do some flying?
I'm ready.
Well, let's finish building the airplane first. Thank you.